Keep your own, just keep them today. So I wanted to revisit finding slopes in two-ordered pairs. And we're going to be using this skill today specifically. So on the first one, we have -2 and 11, 4 and 11. To find the slope given these two-ordered pairs, you're going to plug it into that slope formula, which is still written on the backboard. Y2 minus Y1, X2 minus X1. So my change in Y, 11 minus 11, and over my change in X, 4 minus -2. Double negative here, so I'm going to add them. I end up with 0 over 6. What's the slope? 0. Don't remember what kind of line that is. Horizontal. Okay, so I need to make sure we internalize that a little bit. Problem number 2. What do you get for your slope? Anything? -11 over 0, which gives us what kind of slope? Undefined. Undefined. Okay. And what kind of line will that be? This. Thank you. It's going to be vertical. All right. On problem number 3, we had 2 minus 4 over 1/3 minus 2/3. So you end up with -2 over -1/3. Does anybody know what this actually simplifies out to be? And how many of you left it as 2 over 1/3? Can you guys grunt or nod or something so I know? Did you didn't get it? Okay. Even though you have fractions here, we go ahead and put it into the slope formula just like we always do. And this is my change in X. But if I go ahead and simplify this, what operation is this? Aiden? Division. Right, I can't hear, but it would be. It's division. So we have -2 divided by -1/3. How do we divide these fractions? Anybody? Brody, do you remember? Right? Don't you remember? It's just division. You guys remember how to divide the fractions? We multiply. So we're going to do -2 times, flip this fraction, -3, so our slope here is actually 6 over 1. As when you divide fractions, keep the first fraction the same, flip the second fraction, take the reciprocal, and multiply straight across. I know you guys know that. All right, and the last one. We've got 2 ordered pairs. I've got 6 and R. I don't know what R is. And 3 and 3. And the slope of this is 2. And I need to find this missing coordinate. Any ideas how we do that? And Logan, you remember? Any ideas? Jessica, any ideas where we should start? Yes. Marcy? Just plug it into the formula. So I'm going to do 3 minus R. And that's my change in Y. Over 3 minus 6. And it equals 2, because I'm telling you the slope equals 2. So we're going to solve this equation. 3 minus 6 is -3. And now I'm going to solve this equation for R. Start here. We're going to multiply by -3 on both sides. gives me 3 minus r equals -6. Subtract 3 from both sides. Gives me -r equals -9. I'm not looking for -r. So if you divide everything by -1, we're going to get r equals 9. That's what this missing coordinate is. Does this problem seem vaguely familiar to you? Okay. All right. Any questions on the warm-up? Please tell me you remembered how to do slope from the order first. Okay. All right, make sure your names are on those happy ones. Are you doing that thing they got a piece of paper for notes?
What? Say Cowboys get questions. Break the leg, baby. Confidence break the leg.
All right.
Smoke like.
So today we're going to move on to lesson 2-4. And I was trying to prep you a little bit for this last week on Thursday, or yeah, it would have been Thursday when I was telling you about writing linear equations, and that's what this is called. And my goal, my goal is that when I finish this, and it might take me more than one day to do this, okay? I'm not convinced I'm going to be able to do this all in one day, but my goal when I finish this is that you're going to be able to write linear equations from 2 ordered pairs, from standard form, from slope and y-intercept, and any form that I ask you to write the linear equation, then you're going to be able to do that. I will tell you that it does get a little bit tricky because there's so many things to remember, and that's why this might take me 2 days to get you through it. The first thing we talked about, we did talk about this last week, we talked about standard form of a linear equation. Who remembers standard form, what that looks like? Yep. Remember? Okay. Yeah. I'm going to put some coefficients in there. So it looks like this. AX plus BY equals C. And remember, this is where A, B, and C are integers, and A is greater than 1. Now do you remember doing it? Okay. So this is standard form. And from this, we get slope and y-intercept. Who remembers slope and y-intercept, what that form looks like? This is your y equals mx plus b form. Y equals mx plus b. But a couple things that you'll need to internalize about slope and y-intercept form is that this term right here is your slope. And that's your rise over run, that's your EPS to get to the next point. The b in this is a constant, it's just a number, and that's where you start on the y-axis. That's your y-intercept. And that's your y-intercept. So I want to focus on this form right now, y equals mx plus b, so that if I give you this information, and this passes through the ordered pair at 0, 4, any ideas of what this equation would look like? Anybody? Hold on 1 second. I'm going to zero in on you because I don't see a bunch of people volunteering here. But I want to see if anybody, Carson, have any idea what this equation is going to look like if I take this information and write a linear equation. First of all, I want to put it in slope and y-intercept. No? Anybody? Carson, what's it look like? Yep. Y equals 4/3 x, that's your slope, that's this term right here, plus 4. How did you know that it was plus 4? This ordered pair, if I were to graph it, is on the y-intercept. Okay. So it's going to be plus 4. The thing is, guys, I'm going to be giving you information. I'm going to tell you, in most cases, enough information that you're going to be able to write an equation. And let me do one using the same form, slope and y-intercept. Okay, I want an equation written in slope and y-intercept form given this information. Somebody other than Carson should volunteer, or I'm going to call on somebody. What will this equation look like? Caitlin, any ideas? Okay, hardly here. Needs to be. Okay, so if we're using this form of the equation, showing you what m is. You evaluate, take that m out, and put the negative 3 in its place. That's the slope. Where does my information tell you it's crossing the y-axis? Thank you. 12. So then I'm going to take this and plug it in here. So we're going to end up with y equals negative 3x plus 12. Now, the other day we talked about advocating for yourselves if you don't understand. Remember I got on the soapbox? If you don't understand, you need to ask. What questions do you have about writing equations in slope and y-intercept form given this information? Again, I cannot stress to you enough about asking, because the unit test for this is a pair. If everybody in here feels confident now, if I give you the slope and y-intercept, you'll be able to write the equation from on. All right? Go ahead and write equation 4 line. You're going to do m equals 2/3 y equals -1. Yes, thank you. You're going to have a test question where I give you the slope and a y-intercept, and I just ask you to write the equation of slope and y-intercept. And I want to make sure we get that one right. Okay. So, you look at it. Slope and y-intercept form. Third form we're going to use, and this is the one that we're going to get into right now, it's called point slope form. Points. Slope slope form. And what two pieces of information do you think they're giving us when we write equations in point slope form? They're telling me that. Point and slope. Point and slope. So this is written in this form: y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1, where your x1 and y1 are an ordered pair. Are the ordered pair, and m equals slope. M equals slope. So we're going to write an equation for a line. These are the two pieces of information I'm getting, that I'm giving you. I know the slope is 2/3, or I know the ordered pair is 2/3, and I know my slope is 1/2. And the thing is, I want to write an equation in slope and y-intercept form given this information. But to do that, it's two steps. I have to put it in point slope form first, because that's the information that I have. So this is my x1, y1, and I'm going to plug them into this formula. So y minus 3, the 3 comes from the ordered pair, equals 1/2 x minus 2, where the 2 came from the ordered pair. And I just plug them into the formula. And now I've written an equation for the line that goes through this ordered pair with this slope, and it's in point slope form. However, that's not where I want to leave it. I want to convert this to slope and y-intercept, which means I want to get this y by itself. What should I do first? I'm just tired. We need to distribute. I'm distributing. You need to distribute this 1/2. You have to take care of the parentheses. So y minus 3 equals 1/2 x, and that's okay that it's a fraction because it's a slope. 2 times -2, or 1 times -2 is -2. -2 divided by 2 is 1. So distribute your fraction, and now I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So the equation for that line in slope and y-intercept form is through this ordered pair with this slope is y equals 1/2 x plus 2. This is just a little preview of what you're going to, what that test is. I'll leave this up here for you to look at. I'm going to put some information on the board and you try it. I'll leave point slope up there. -2, -1, m equals -3. Okay, go ahead and write an equation for a line in slope and y-intercept form, given that information. Here's your hint. If you're struggling, you don't know what to do, put it in point slope form first. x1, y1, there's your slope, put it in this form first. Do the opposite of what you see here. If they're negative in here, put the positive in. so as I start to work this out, I'm going to plug them into the formula. Please remember that these minus signs right here first are part of the formula. So if you're plugging in a negative number, it becomes a double negative. And that's where you do that mark. So we have y plus 1 equals negative 3 x plus 2. X plus 2. It rolls out here. Do the opposite of what you see here. If they're negative in the order, turn it into a positive in the formula. Then distribute. So y plus 1 equals negative 3x minus 6. Subtract 1 from both sides. So y equals negative 3x minus 7. So given an ordered pair and the slope, what questions do you have about putting them in that form, what slope form, and then converting them to slope and y-intercept? This will be something that we practice for that test, just to make sure. The last way I want to show you this way. We're going to write an equation for a line that goes through these two ordered pairs. And one. So I want to write an equation for a line that goes through those two ordered pairs. And so I start doing stuff like this, and I start kind of losing people. I don't know what to do. What information do I need in both in point slope form and slope and y-intercept form? What pieces of information do I need? We need the slope and a point, either the y-intercept or another point. So I've got two ordered pairs. From that, you can use the slope formula and find the slope, which is what we did in the warm-up today. So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to find the slope. My change in y is negative 3 over 7. My change in x, negative 3 minus negative 2. I'm going to end up with negative 10 over 5, which reduces to negative 2 over 1. So there's the slope. Okay? And you all said, when I asked, you all were deadly silent, like you hated me. Mr. Wallace was sitting right there, and I said, I give you two ordered pairs, you're all very confident that you can find the slope. And some of you know. Some of you blink and some of you yourself. You acknowledge that you can do that, right? So you have to find the slope first. There it is. Now, in point slope form, you get an ordered pair and the slope. We have the slope, and now you have two ordered pairs to choose from. I don't care which one you choose. Pick one of those two ordered pairs and put that information into this formula. When we convert them to slope and y-intercept, we're all going to get the same answer if you do the math right. I'm going to take the first ordered pair. Y minus negative 2 becomes, or y minus 7 equals negative 2 x plus 2. And that's from here. That's this ordered pair. And now I put that information into that formula. And here I'm going to convert it to slope and y-intercept. I'm going to distribute first. And then I'm going to add 7 to both sides. And we're going to get y equals negative 2x plus 3. So given two ordered pairs, we can write an equation in slope and y-intercept form. Yes, are you stretching or do you have a question?
Yeah. The y equals y equals x plus 2.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 7 came from here. The 2 came from here to the double negative, so I made it plus 2.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me put a couple ordered pairs. And I'll let you guys do this one. I want you guys to write an equation for a line that goes through these 2 ordered pairs. So write the equation for a line. It's slope in y-intercept form. It goes through those 2 ordered pairs. Here, find the slope first. Use the slope formula and find the slope. First thing you have to do is find the slope. In the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, I got a slope of negative 5 over 2. From there, again, pick an ordered pair. I don't care which one you pick. If I take the first one and you take the second one, when we convert these to slope and y-intercept, we're going to end up with the same equation, or we should. So I'm going to take the first one. I'm going to do y plus 9. I'm changing the sign because it's negative here. It's going to end up becoming positive here because the double negative. Equals negative 5 over 2 x minus 4. I distribute this fraction, so I get y plus 9 equals negative 5 over 2x. Negative 5 times negative 4 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. And let's just multiply fractions, and again, if you struggle with that, please ask and I'll help you. Multiply negative 5 times negative 4, and then I divided that answer by 2. And now let's subtract 9 from both sides. We're going to get y equals negative 5 over 2x plus 1. What questions do you have about this? And I'm not done. This lesson's not over, but I'm going to stop for now and get you started on the practice. I need to finish it. I know I'm going to get done there. No questions? Yeah? All right, so there's an assignment on Canvas. What I didn't talk about today were parallel and perpendicular lines. I haven't talked about parallel and perpendicular lines. The assignment is on Canvas. Any problems that are on that worksheet that deal with parallel and perpendicular lines, don't do those unless you already know. But you don't have to do those. But the other ones where you're writing equations, either standard form, which we talked about last week, point slope form, or slope and y-intercept form, I want you to do those. Okay? If parallel and perpendicular lines, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Right? If you have questions, raise your hand. I'll come and help you.